with Paul McCloskey, moving on to beat world champion and one of the legends of the sport, Samaarah Choubak, back in Las Vegas, and now to the capital, Washington, D.C. I think it is really city by city, fight by fight. Amir Khan is really becoming one of the most popular fighters in the world, in the United States, and his fan base and fan support in the U.S. is growing tremendously. We expect that to continue with this fight here and for many more fights to come. I don't have to now walk you through all of Amir's accomplishments. They're well known. He is, you can see it, the undisputed champion at the 140-pound weight class. He is willing and always able to take on anyone, as he's shown here, with his gangster move. And so it's a pleasure and an honor to introduce to you the undisputed 140-pound world champion, Amir King Khan.
Thank you all for turning up today. A lot of people have turned up, and we've got a lot of press here, so it's brilliant. Looking forward to this fight December 10th. I've had a nice break, chilled out with my family, went to do my pilgrimage and everything. The last fight against Judah was a good fight. I didn't get hurt or anything, and I felt sharp in that fight and felt good. And we fixed up the training camp. I'm back working with Alex Louisa, Freddie Roach and everyone. We go back in camp December 10th. On the Monday we start training with Freddie, and Freddie's cut the camp short in the Philippines with Manny Pacquiao just to be with me and another fighter that he used to train with Leonardo. But yeah, it's going to be great to train with Manny Pacquiao again. Manny is such a great guy to train with, and I'm sure he can give some tips to go into this fight against Lamont Peterson. And Lamont's a boxer, skilled boxer, also stands there and fights. I remember seeing, I missed his last fight, but I remember seeing him fight against Victor Ortiz, who just fought against Mayweather, and he got a draw against him. Victor did put him down, but the way he come back from that, I mean, he's got a lion's heart, and that's one thing. What excites me in this fight is it's going to be exciting, and both fighters have been down. I've been down myself, and I've come back, and I have a big heart. He's just like me. He's a box fighter like himself. So I can see this fight being very technical. Freddie, I spoke to him not long ago, and he said we have to stick to a game plan for this fight, which is going to work for me. And he has a strategy to get me through this fight and winning. I'm going to be defending my titles, and I don't want to lose these titles. I worked so hard for them. And I remember when I was in Lamont's position, when I was challenging for a world title fight, and I was training twice as hard. And I know Lamont's going to train very hard for this fight. He wants to win these titles, but I'm going to be training even harder. I know that it's always harder to keep hold of the titles, and I'm fighting the best fighters in this division. I want to thank Lamont for taking this fight, because we put the fight to Bradley, he turned it down. Another name was Morales, he turned it down. And I just want to fight the best before we move up to 147. I know there's already talks about me fighting the likes of Mayweather and them guys, but I'm not looking too way ahead. I'm taking a step at a time. I've got Lamont Peterson first to fight, and all my training and my game plan is going to be on one fight, one at a time, and then we see what the future holds for us. But like I said, I want to say thank you for for turning up today, and hopefully it'll be big on December 10th, and we'll bring the title back home. Thank you.
Okay, so we want to open it up for questions.
First question, please.
Big honors, next question. Lamont and Barry, how do you guys really think that you're going to get past the speed of Amir Khan? You saw that Judah, he's one of the greatest legends, one of the greatest fighters. And at the end of the day, he was just mesmerized. At the end of the day, how do you really think that you guys can get past that speed? That's the question.
You want to take that one? Yeah. But Zad, you can't compare me to Zad. Zad is a much shorter fighter. To me, stylistically, he had no chance in the fight. Timing always beats speed. So, at the end of the day, just to keep it plain and simple, timing beats speed.
And on my side is, Lamont, one of those rare fighters that can fight inside, does have that heart like Amir described. And Lamont is not slow either. Lamont is a boxer that prefers to fight inside, but he can do both.
speed factor, again, he's talking about, I've seen Lamont fight, he's not as fast as that kid.
We're not gonna compare speeds. Even if you did, if you actually saw speed, if you wanted to see speed, Lamont can show you speed. But for the most part, again, he just preferred to fight a certain way. But can do both.
At the back, please. Yourself, Peter Blue.
John Hargate, Boxing Scene. Who will be broadcasting this in the UK?
We're in talks with a few TV networks. We should announce that in the next couple of days.
Yeah, it'll be another week or so. It's been so fast putting this fight together, so that'll take its time, and we'll come back to everybody in the next week when we come back. At the front, please.
Yeah, question to Barry Hunter, Samaarah Choubak, 8 Count News. Last week, Peterson gave an interview to Prt2 Radio, and he talked about some problems that he had previously. And what kind of different techniques have you been thinking about bringing to the fight, you know, without giving away the game plan? Because Amir Khan, he's improved a lot in these last couple of years.
Amir has improved the last few years, and so has Lamont. I think the biggest improvement with Lamont was after the Bradley fight. And if you go back to that fight, after he went down in that fight against Bradley, he got back up and he actually hurt Bradley. But he spent the next 9 or 10 rounds or so taking that one punch knockdown personal. Go back to the Victor Ortiz fight, when he went down in Ortiz fight. Now, had it not been for that Bradley fight, then that Ortiz fight would have been the Bradley fight, if you get what I'm saying. Instead of him taking that punch personally, he became more strategic, and he made the adjustment. As Richard said, he got a draw in that fight. Some say he won the fight. But nevertheless, I saw growth in that particular fight because of the adjustment that was made after the knockdown.
Next question, please.
I've always been fighting away from home, you know, when I was an amateur and everything, and this is just another fight for me. I fought Maidana in Vegas, I fought Malanaji in his hometown in New York, and Zabjuda in Vegas where he lives now. So, you know, fighting away from home is okay. I mean, I don't mind. It makes me, you know, try to train a lot harder, because you have to remember that, you know, he's the main attraction in his hometown. So, and everyone's going to be watching him, probably going to have more support there. But I want to win the fans over there, and that's why I like to go there and fight everywhere around the world, because I want to be a global name. You know, I don't only want to fight in England or Vegas. I want to fight all over and give my fans a chance to fight everywhere.
Yes.
Umar from Sports Night Live. I mean, a similar question. What do you think would happen in the fight? How do you think it would go? What sort of fight were you expecting from the one? At this current stage, do you have any sort of prediction?
You know, I never go into a fight thinking I'm gonna, you know, knock the guy out. I never predict a round or anything. I just train for the full distance, for the full 12 rounds, and make sure I'm in the best condition to go the full distance, and with a high work rate, and to work very, very hard in the fight. It's going to be tough, don't get me wrong, this fight. Lamont's a lot taller than most of the opponents I fight, and he's very technical, like himself, so it's going to be like a game of chess at times, but then at times it's going to be a bit of a war. You know, we're going to stand there and both fight, and he's very similar to me with his style, the way he does like to stand there sometimes and take punches and give some back. So it's going to be exciting, and like I said, we're going to be ready for the full distance, and that's how we train now.
Rick Manus.
Amir, obviously they're looking at strategy, that they're looking at you can't fight on the inside. Are you going to show something different?
Yeah, you know.
In a way to fight on the inside? Because
Yeah.
You're a very good boxer from the outside, but again.
You know, many fighters have tried, I mean, you know, to get in the inside, and I mean, you have to get, you start from the outside first, and it takes time to get into the inside, so that's if we can make it to the inside. So, you know, we'll just see, and Freddie always says, you know, he's going to, if Freddie tells him to fight the inside, I'll do that, and we'll be working on that. He's my trainer, he's my coach, and I trust it. Whatever he says, I'll do. If it means standing in there, and because Lamont is a taller fighter, so that could be one of the game plans. we'll just stick with whatever he says. But I can fight inside when I have to. Why stand inside when you're making it harder for yourself? To get me, if I can stand on the outside and box and not get hit, then I'm going to stick with that.
What do you think behind you?
Yeah, Cameron Sharp, boxing fan class. Amir, this is your third fight of the year. Are you concerned at all about burnout?
Sorry?
Are you concerned at all about burning out? And this is your third fight of the year.
No, I think it's been brilliant. If you think about it, I had two fights in Turkey fight, then I had the Judah fight. I didn't really take much punishment or anything, and the camps were really well, didn't pick up no injuries, and won the fights in good style, felt good. So I think this third fight is I wanted 3 fights this year, and I'm looking at 3 fights next year as well. So I think 3 fights is just enough. I get to have a little break, and I don't put much weight on anyway in between fights, so I think it just works out perfect.
So one on the front.
Amir Khan, Victor Ortiz, any possibility in 2012?
You know, them fights in the future can happen, but at the moment I'm just focusing on one fighter, which is Lamont Peterson. I mean, I made that mistake in the past when I lost that fight. I was looking too far ahead, but I need to, one fight at a time. That's what I'm going to be focusing on.
One on the back, sir. Yes.
Okay, Lamont, you came up short against Timothy Bradley previously. What adjustments have you made now that make you think that you can beat Amir Khan? Because it's not Amir Khan is that fight already.
Even though Amir can be the better fighter than Timothy Bradley, that doesn't mean that I can't beat Amir. Style makes fights. To me, shorter fighters are harder to fight than taller fighters. Always been like that for me.
Bradley, Mr. Hunter is talking about fighting on the inside. Bradley is known to be a pretty good inside fighter as well, so how do you plan on implementing that against Khan?
Well, to me, this is the way I feel. Anybody who sits there with me and fighting the inside, regardless of how strong they are or whatever, I think I'll win that fight. I'm pretty sure I'll win that fight. So, not saying that I'll, press hard to get to Amir. I'm okay with boxing with him if that's the way the fight is going. If it just so happens to get in the inside, I'll feel comfortable being into.
So Lamont Peterson, you're fighting obviously in your backyard. Is that added pressure facing Amir Khan for a world title shot?
I wouldn't call it added pressure. I think it adds motivation. Just like Amir said that fighting his own hometown, gives him more fuel to train harder because he's going into somebody's backyard.